Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Story of Sam and welcome back to a brand new NBA video today here on the channel. And today I'm going to go over everything we learned from the 2021 NBA playoffs. If you guys are brand new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And of course guys, make sure to drop a like. That would be great. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So for the first thing we learned from the 2021 NBA playoffs, we have Ben Simmons cannot be a number 2 option on a championship team. There has been a lot of conversation over the past couple of years of, do Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid play well together? Can they win a championship together as a duo? In my personal opinion, I think not. I think Ben Simmons is going to be traded this offseason for probably CJ McCollum, and I think that would be a great move for the Philadelphia 76ers. We all know Ben Simmons is elite defensively, but he is a liability on the offensive side of the ball. His poor free throw shooting makes him vulnerable to getting intentionally fouled, and Ben Simmons honestly hasn't shown any offensive improvement since his rookie year. No attempt at getting a 3-point shot, no mid-range shot. He's not even being aggressive at the rim, and I just think it's best for the Philadelphia 76ers to move on from Ben Simmons, trade him, and really help out Joel Embiid spacing wise. Maybe get a CJ McCollum type player. Maybe if they're lucky, they could get Damian Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers to join Joel Embiid and really help out the Sixers team. But for right now, I think Ben Simmons has played his final game as a 76er just because of his poor free throw shooting and no motivation to improve his offensive game. Moving on to the next thing we learned from the 2021 NBA playoffs, we have Luka Doncic is a top 5 player in the NBA. Now Luka played absolutely amazing in these playoffs. Even though the Dallas Mavericks lost in 7 games to the LA Clippers, Luka put up his best fight, shooting amazing from the 3-point line, and he really has improved his mid-range jumpers in between game. It's not all just layups and 3-pointers now. I think Luka was the best player in this series versus the LA Clippers. I think he was better than Kawhi in that series, and if Luka just had a little bit more help in that series, I really do think the Dallas Mavericks would have beaten the LA Clippers and might have gone on to beat the Utah Jazz and make the Western Conference Finals. But looking forward into Luka's future, I really do think he can win multiple championships and multiple MVPs with the Dallas Mavericks. Moving on to the next thing we learned from the 2021 NBA playoffs, I have that young teams with little experience can still succeed in the NBA playoffs. I feel like years past it's always been LeBron, Steph Curry, Kawhi, Kevin Durant, all those players in the finals, but this year obviously the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks made the NBA finals. Now Giannis is one of the best players in the NBA, but a team like the Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, they are both amazing players, but they are not like top 5 players in the NBA. Those guys were not going to the NBA finals every year. You look at a team like the Atlanta Hawks, a team with basically no playoff experience, Trae Young in his first NBA playoffs. Now I know injuries did play a large factor in the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns definitely did benefit from other teams being injured, but they were still there ready to take advantage of the opportunity, being one of the best teams in the NBA, getting the 2 seed. So I think it's very important to understand that even if a team doesn't have a Kevin Durant, a Kawhi Leonard, they can still make a very deep playoff run, make the NBA finals, and maybe even win the championship. The future is bright in the NBA, and I think playoff experience is a little bit overrated. I mean, it does matter, experience does matter a good amount, but I would say it's a little bit overblown. You can still make a great playoff run with no experience. Like look at the Atlanta Hawks, as I said, teams like the Phoenix Suns made a great run, the Dallas Mavericks almost beat the LA Clippers in the first round. If Kristaps Porzingis played better in that series, I think they would have won, but just overall, young teams, younger players can make noise in the playoffs. The next thing the 2021 NBA playoffs taught us is that Giannis does have a bag, and he is a very, very skilled NBA player, and it's not just his size or athleticism carrying him and making him a good player. Before these NBA playoffs started, a lot of people were saying that Giannis has little to no skills and wouldn't be as good in the playoffs because he lacked certain skills like shooting, for example. But people don't understand that just because you cannot shoot the ball at a high efficiency rate doesn't mean you don't have skills. Giannis is 6'11" and extremely athletic, don't get me wrong. He is a freak of nature, and that is one reason why he is so good, but he has plenty of skills. He's one of the best defensive players in the NBA. He's won a defensive player of the year. That takes plenty of skill, and Giannis is one of the best finishers in the NBA. Finishing takes a lot of skill. Being able to consistently make contested layups is a very, very important thing to have, and Giannis is definitely one of the best players in the NBA to do that. I just think a lot of NBA fans think that shooting is like the only way to be a good skillful player, when finishing and defense are amazing skills to have, and being a 6'11" player like Giannis is, he can dribble very, very well for his height. That is also another skill that he has. Being a skilled finisher in the NBA takes amazing footwork, and if Giannis didn't have any skill, every other 6'11" player in the NBA would be putting up 35 points a game on 60+% from the field in the NBA Finals. So yes, Giannis does have skill, skill, and he is one of the most skilled players in the NBA today. Moving on to our final thing the 2021 NBA playoffs taught us is that the Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum backcourt is not going to win a championship, and in my opinion, they are not a title contender with their current roster. The Portland Trailblazers seem to run it back with a similar team every year, and they really haven't found any playoff success besides their 2019 playoff run, where they were eventually swept by the Golden State Warriors without Kevin Durant. And don't get me wrong, this team right here is a playoff team. CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard, and Jusuf Nurkic, they're going to make the playoffs pretty much every single year in the Western Conference, and this year in the first round of the playoffs, they lost to the Denver Nuggets without Jamal Murray in 6 games. And if this current Portland Trailblazer team can't beat an injured Denver Nugget team in the first round of the playoffs, how do they expect to compete for a championship? I think they should trade CJ McCollum for maybe a Ben Simmons type player. I know I talked about that earlier in the video with the Sixers, maybe wanting to trade Ben Simmons and the Portland Trailblazers, maybe wanting to trade CJ McCollum. Damian Lillard is 31. He is arguably the best Portland Trailblazer in franchise history. In my opinion, you do not trade him away. You keep Damian Lillard and you try to build a championship roster around him. Again, I would trade CJ McCollum. Literally just trade McCollum, trade picks, do whatever you can to get a new core in here, because right now, this core, CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, is not going to work. No disrespect to CJ McCollum or Jusuf Nurkic, but again, CJ McCollum, he's not an all-star, he's an all-star caliber player. Damian Lillard needs a lot more in a small market to actually compete for a championship. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on everything the 2021 NBA playoffs taught us. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And of course, guys, make sure to drop a like on today's video. That would be great. And if you guys do want to watch more of my NBA videos, I'm going to leave an end screen right when this video finishes to 2 of my previous uploads that I think you guys would really enjoy. So have a great rest of your day, guys. It's been Story of Sam, and I'm out. Peace.